What was that? Rich brought it up earlier. It was really...
They go, they're such jackasses. Well, Howard left you all the listeners. So you got
Howard. Yeah. Well, you just got the seat because Howard left. Well, they got to put someone here.
They didn't sit there with their radios going. Zzz,
and by the way, they put David Lee Roth here, and that didn't work.
Right.
And then they put us here, and we're working. So what's your point?
We took over for the David Lee Roth stations officially.
Yeah.
And we earned it because they were trying to say, "Oh, look what you guys were handed." No, we weren't handed that. Before we screwed up royally, we were syndicated an afternoon drive to 1920 stations.
Yeah.
We made our own name in the business, pals. And we didn't need Howard to do it, jackasses.
When David Lee Roth was plummeting, they were probably sitting there going, "Oh boy, this is sweet.
We're in.
We're in."
Let me tell you, every Vulture show was sitting there crowing about how they're going to take over the slot. They're in, we're going, we're doing this. Well, we've been in talks every show, from Dick to all of them. And we just sat over at XM going, let's see what happens.
And I don't know if Howard's going to allow you to drink on the air, so you might want to see if that's possible before you accept a job over there.
Yeah. By the way,
let's go to Tom. Hey, Tom, what's up?
Yo, what's up, man? That was by far the best thing I've ever heard on radio yesterday. I'm a big fan. I've been a fan of your guys for years. I do like JV and Elvis. I think it's a good show. I mean, I think. Look,
look, I can't even form an opinion because we're too busy doing 5 to 5.5 hours of radio a day. I'm not going to lie to you. I have no idea what kind of show they do. I heard they were successful in San Francisco. I'll tell you this much. I've been in radio since 18, and I know all the players. I never heard of JV and Elvis until we started working with them. I just never heard of them.
I like the fake radio voice.
Because now I'm hearing they claimed in the past that we ripped them off.
And the complete dishonesty. Is that part of the show you like? The complete dishonesty?
Every show BS is around.
BSing around is one thing. Complete dishonesty is another.
Look, how would you guys feel like with that show? What about the guy from Philly who filled in for him? I don't know if that has anything to do with
Barsky. Yeah, Barsky's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. You think that guy's better than they are? Dude, you got to be.
I'm saying Barsky's pretty good. I have heard Barsky over the years.
Well,
yes.
I thought it was the most horrible show I ever heard on New York radio when that guy was on. I'll be honest with you.
All right. Well, that's
you guys are by far, one of the best shows out there.
Oh, you don't have to tell us that.
And then they try to claim we stole their comedy show. What was that about?
Yeah.
I had no idea they ever did a comedy tour or comedy show.
We were the first to do a tour. Oh, yeah? You book Abbott and Costello?
Right.
Yeah. There was never comedy tours before that, and radio's never put together comedy tours.
I had no clue. I have no clue what they did with their careers.
I know.
This was an idea we had 4 or 5 years ago. It's not an original idea. They've been doing comedy tours through radio stations, by the way, for many, many years. We just took it to the next level. That's all.
Because no one's going to go see their tour. What are they going to do? Sell out,
Do the cellar?
Yeah. They actually said we stole the idea from them. Like, are you...
That's what we do.
Do you honestly think I know the first thing about you guys?
Oh, it's funny.
And then through the argument, one of them had to say that I barely talked to him in the hall. I don't have time to talk to anyone in the hall. We leave this show and someone gives me a wireless mic because we have to continue broadcasting.
We're still doing a show.
Right away.
We're still doing a show. We stop and chat. We've always been cordial in there. It's always been civil in the hall. It's not like, hey, F you, It's like, hey, how you doing? Hey, what's up?
But I always felt an underlying thing that
it's always
they had a problem
tension.
with us. It's like, look, man, you should have a problem with management. They didn't believe in you. We have nothing to do with this. If they believed in you, you'd be an afternoon drive or morning drive.
Right.
They don't believe in you. Yeah. The writing's on the wall. So you, as a radio show and as an air personality, go find a better job. That's what I did. That's what I did time and time again. I didn't sit there and wait for management to finally realize that maybe I have something to offer in radio. Nope. I went out and searched it out myself.
See, CBS taking you guys back. You're saying, that's like taking your old girlfriend back that had slept with the whole town. You're going,
yeah,
all right, I'll take her back. You know what I mean?
It's the hardest thing that they had to do was take us back. The most difficult show to get on the air for CBS was the Opie and Anthony show. It was so difficult to do But that's what they felt they had to do to be successful in mornings.
And they've never done this before. They never. You're still on another radio show.
It's ridiculous what they had to go through.
It's retarded that you're on satellite and free.
But that was easier than taking JV and Elvis and putting them in mornings.
Have you walk a block and a half every day.
Yeah, and walk a block and a half and wire us for sound. Like the FBI, we're friggin' wired for sound walking down the streets of New York. It's ridiculous.
JV and Elvis don't know that Pereno was ahead of them.
It's
a spot.
Wow. Thank you, Rich Voss. Anyway, the Daily News, the headline, a nasty case of air rage at Free FM. A surreal story that began when WFNY morning co-host Anthony Cumia's girlfriend was involuntarily committed to a psychiatric hospital. Cuckoo! Led yesterday to Anthony and his partner Opie exchanging a torrent of loud insults on the air with the Free FM team that follows them, JV and Elvis. The volume of this exchange and the fact it involved hosts from the same station made it sound unusually intense. JV and Elvis said Opie and Anthony aren't as successful as Howard Stern, and that while Anthony is funny, Opie is just a bored operator. Go work for Howard then, man. You love the guy.
Everyone thinks that that's what's going to get to us.
They reach for the
Howard. We have more listeners than he does. What the hell do we care about Howard?
You know, they're hoping that Howard heard this, and all of a sudden Howard's calling up, hey, all of a sudden he's calling and giving them, a great gig over at that crap hole.
Sorry, I don't think he's got your number, especially out at the Hamptons house.
He doesn't even know you exist, so keep trying, though. Try, I don't know, maybe flying banners or something.
Yeah. Flight over the beach over there.
You don't sound too desperate by using Howard's name in an argument.
These are the guys
if you could work your way into a polo match out in the Hamptons, perhaps he'd recognize you or know you.
Opie replied, yeah, a board op who's on the side of buses and David Letterman's couch. A board op who's a multi...
Yeah, this was funny when he said this one.
God damn it, I'm going to have to send my freaking family more checks.
Boss keeps pointing to his own chest like he said it.
I did. Oh, no, whoa. When he was yelling, he was calling Opie a board op. I started screaming, going, yeah, well, he's on every bus and the Garden, okay?
Yeah.
And then Opie goes, and Letterman. All
like,
right?
how do you like that?
You know, because
my aunt and I, we had our faces on the side of Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Beat that! No one's going to beat that.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen every day.
And it was the whole Garden.
It was us and Mark Messier. Beat that! Beat that!
All right.
So anyway, Opie replied, yeah, board op who's on the side of buses and David Letterman's couch, a board op who's a multimillionaire. What do you think of that? Great. My family's going to be calling for checks
That's it.
Any hour now.
Multi? Did you say multi?
You told me you were making $100,000 a year.
Ooh.
Opie said nobody listens to JV and Elvis, and that if they were any good, they'd have gotten the WFNY morning show when David Lee Roth was fired. Mark Chernoff, vice president of programming for WFNY, said after the exchange, it's just radio. I hope people remember that all hosts, Stern, Imus, have these kinds of exchanges.
That's not what he really said. He said,
impression.
It's stupid. It's safe. It's like the safest thing Mark Chernoff could say. He's got to keep everybody happy.
Everyone's happy.
That's his job.
His job is like Thanksgiving dinner, where he knows that portions of the family are over that are going to argue and fight.
Right.
But come on, let's keep it all nice. And no.
And then his quote.
No.
And then his quote ends with, "I love all my hosts."
Oh, he didn't say that. Tell me he didn't say that.
what he really said is, who's JV and Elvis?
The drama began with Anthony talking about how his girlfriend was committed and how he was working to spring her.
Spring.
Opie and Anthony host 6 to 9 a.m. on WFNY, simulcast with XM, then 9 to 11 on XM alone. It sounds complicated even when you read it, what we do every day. What Chernoff said, Cumia's story was compelling enough for them to stay on WFNY until 9:30. JV and Elvis, who do 9 to 1, grumbled about losing the time. One called them from XM, and the discussion quickly escalated to schoolyard-style yelling.
Schoolyard-style?
And at that point, they turned down our volume because they're a bunch of pussies.
Yeah.
We kept them up in the mix the entire time. Our version is up on opieandanthony.com.
Oh, you'll hear the XM feed, which has where we weren't cursing, and they were saying, you could hear them actually saying, hey, don't curse, hey, we had to dump out of that. You could hear it. Oh, what?
There's Mark Chernoff
Oh, Mark is
with a fake gun to his head.
making the gun to his head gesture.
Say hi to Imus for us, will you? Schoolyard style yelling. Opie also said WFNY's parents, CBS, wants me and Anthony to do the 9 to 10 hour.